This week, the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade introduced a system of performance benchmarks intended to make development projects more effective and more accountable. Projects that don't achieve expected results will be given a year to show improvement and will otherwise face termination or cuts to their budgets. This represents a major shift in the country's aid evaluation system, which Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop says is meant to reflect broader changes on the global development landscape, which have seen overseas capital flows increasingly reside within the private sector as opposed to in aid agencies. The announcement comes on the tails of a broader reform effort, which saw Australia's aid budget significantly slashed and the agency formerly known as AusAid absorbed into the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Many implementers will surely be watching closely to see how this new performance benchmark system integrates with Australia's decision-making in terms of which projects to fund and sustain. Details are slowly emerging about an Afghanistan development conference expected to take place in London at some point this year. According to British Secretary of State Justine Greening, the United Kingdom will be co-hosting the event, although other details at this point still remain sketchy. Partners are waiting until the results of the Afghanistan runoff election are announced, and at that point they'll plan to engage with the new administration to hash out some of the details around development cooperation. The London conference is seen as a follow-on to the 2012 Tokyo conference, at which donors pledged $16 billion for Afghanistan through 2015. South Korea is making moves to become a bigger, more transparent, and more engaged player on the global development scene. In an exclusive interview with Kim Young-mak, president of the Korea International Cooperation Agency, Devex learned about big steps the country is taking to shore up its partnerships and to direct more money to development cooperation. KOICA, which has existed since the early 1990s, is taking steps to shrug off what its president calls an isolated way of operating and engage in partnerships with the U.S. Agency for International Development, the Department for International Development at the UK, the Peace Corps, and other international actors. We'll continue to track these and other developing stories, so stay tuned to our coverage at devex.com.